Oh, welcome back. It's been a little while. I took a break from the Austin for about 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm back on it again now. I've been waiting for a few bits and pieces to turn up. I've got the sill ready to go on, and the end of the sill, it's like a little piece made up. I was a bit disappointed when it arrived because normally these pieces are made out of pressing, all pressed together. This one's made out of 7 pieces of metal. That's the bad news. Good news is it actually fits the sill much better than the other side. I'll turn the camera around and show you what's what. Right, this is the piece I brought. It sort of goes on. I've got to show you that. This is the piece I brought. It goes on sort of there somewhere. Put the camera down, you might be able to see what I'm doing. Now, the problem I've got with it is just the way it's made. It's actually appalling. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little bit of MIG wire there. They have the decency to grind it off flush. That weld there. I think that piece there is just to hang it up while it's being painted. There, look, it's been ground off. There's a weld there somewhere. Like I say, this is supposed to be one piece just pressed out. And even down there, look at all them dodgy welds down there. Turn it on the other side. You've got a bit of penetration through there. No penetration there, look. So what I think I'll have to do, the best thing to do, is actually, it's terrible, isn't it? No penetration through there at all. I'm going to get the wheel on there, get rid of the paint, and I'm going to re-weld it on the inside, especially around here. Because what I need to do, if I can get a decent weld all the way around there, then when I come to grind that out to make it, hopefully it should fit better. Even down there's a pull, but I didn't really want any fill on this bit. Anyway, let's have a quick look what I've got to do. Open this door up, without smashing it against the other side. Right, this piece, when you look at it like that, I don't actually need that piece. I just need someone to cut it all the way down there and get rid of that and put it on there, because this, I think this is supposed to be, I don't know if you can see it, let's move the camera around. A bit better. See this piece here? That is that piece there. I don't need that because I've actually renewed all that. And that's where I reckon the line should be. So I think the first thing to do, when I contradict myself a little bit, I'm going to cut all the way down there. Then I'll spend a bit of time cleaning this stupid thing up, which I'm not very happy with. Then I'm going to, even like there, is that supposed to be welded in there? Don't know. Let's get that bit off first and clean this red oxide up. I'll drive out and it bare. Yeah. And then I will start welding it again. I think that's the best way to do it. Anyway, let's go and cut it. Well, I've cut that top bit off, but I think I need to cut down there now. So deliberately, this metal is a lot thinner. I don't know what it's better. God knows what that is. It's made out of paper. I think I've overdone it on that anyway. So what I'm going to do, it's got to go like that, something like that. I'm going to cut down that line there. I don't know if you can see it. Get a bit of metal, I'll show you what I mean. Down there. Cut it right the way down like that. This bit here, obviously I've done it oversized deliberately. So what I could do is take some of it off. No, let's do this bit. Let's cut this off first, then we'll see where we go. Right, I'll cut a couple of pieces off. I cut this piece off. And this piece that was on here somewhere. Can't see it. Cut that off. Now I've offered it out. I suppose I've really got to go to that edge. If I go to that, then this piece here doesn't marry up. So really, it's got to go there. Then I've got to try and alter this bit somehow. Well, I'll put a little mark on there, a pencil mark and a pencil mark on there for that. I reckon that's where it's got to go. I'll put it there. This is too long here. So Let's don't worry about it too much. I'll just cut it. It's got to go there, hasn't it? Right, I've got the end of the sill roughly in place. It's very rough at the moment. I've decided that that little crease there has got to be in line with that. By doing that, this sill at the end is too long. So, what should we do? I'm going to cut it off. Cut it off down there and have a play around with it. But if I put this right up here, so that piece there goes to there, this doesn't line up. So I'll put a wood screw in there, just to hold it in a minute, and I've got a clamp in the bottom, as you see, a piece of wood there. Let's show you what I've done. Okay, so yeah, I've got a big gap there now. Look. I'm not too fussed about that because I can deal with that. That's not going to be a problem. I've got a little wooden wedge up there to bring this out a little bit, and I've got a wooden wedge there. So I think the best thing to do really now is have a think about it. But what I will do is I will cut down there. I've got to cut down there, and that'll be a nice little curve. Don't forget, all this bit here I actually made up anyway, so it's probably wrong. The thing I did notice, I don't have to measure it actually. The thickness of that, I don't even think it's a millimetre. I'll be using that 1.2, but I will trim all this out. So what I will do, sort of repeat myself, have a think about it, cut this off, and I'm going to go inside this and I'm going to re-weld all this because I need to be able to sort of grind it, and then somehow I need to put a piece on there. Well, I've made a mark there because that's the curvature of where the door is. The door comes down and that's the sort of curvature. I think it looks good. Now I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm not going to cut on that line. I'm going to cut on this line. I'll do it properly when I get off. Now, because what I thought I'd do is I might be able to radiate it, put a radius on it, just a little bit, sort of turn it in a bit, because I don't know if you can see on there, there's a little tiny, oh, it's a pathetic radius actually. I reckon if I can just put it on the vise and just give it a little tap down, then I can fill that little gap on the top. If that makes sense, which it probably doesn't, but there you go. Turn it around there so you can have a bit more of a look. Yeah, if you can see there's a bit of a radius on there. So if I cut down there, that second line, I'll make it better when I take it off in a minute. And I should be able to bend it around a little bit. So let's stay at that. Terrible, isn't it? I'm going to have to reshape that somehow. Don't know how yet, but anyway, I'm going to redo this line, mark it out, cut that bit off. Could probably bugger it up, but that's not the end of the world. I can always weld a bit back on it. Also, Well, I've cut this piece off of there. Just need to bend that out a little bit. You see, it's a much better fit already. I've got to play around with it a little bit, but I just need to work out to fill that other bit in and this cutting off. Yep. Alright, so let's get you in a bit closer and I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, so this piece here should have gone in there like that. I'm just wondering I might as well make a new piece. So I start cutting things about and it's easy to make a new piece. So what I want to do, I want to cut that piece off there, which I've marked up. That's going to cut off. Then I can start shaping the piece around there. Well, I've just offered this piece up. I need to weld a little bit more metal in, so I'll just cut a little shape out. I won't bore you with welding, so I'm just going to weld that in and clean it up and give me a bit more room. Yeah, it's definitely, I've had to cut and abuse it quite a lot. There's not much of it left really. But I've spaced this out, I've put a couple of got self-tappers in there. I've had to cut down there to bring this back out again. So I think it'll be alright when it's all done. State of that. Yeah, I've had to cut quite a bit more off. Put a little slot down in there. I've cut spacers down there just to hold it. Cut self-tapper screws. I'm just going to play around with this bit now because this bit needs a bit of a grind up anyway. Well, we're getting there. I've had to weld a little piece on top of here to close the gap up between the bottom of the door and there. There's a little tiny step there, so this is actually just tacked on at the moment. It's going to have to come off. I've actually done a little piece up here. It's got to be ground there. This little lip, you can see it. I just welded a big piece on there and just got a cutting disc and cut it down. I've just got to clean this up a little bit now. I'm not going to finish that off just yet because obviously I've got to take this back off again. I've started wrapping a piece of metal round here. It's taking quite a while. I've got to give it a good grind up in a minute. It's still quite hot actually. But what I'm going to try and do, like I say, I'm not going to weld this. I'm just going to finish this piece underneath here. I'm just going to have a 5-minute break because it's just a bit hot at the moment. It's about 32 degrees outside, believe it or not. Most unusual. And this is the bit here. It sort of come out of it. But there's still another little piece. See this little lip there? I will show you one of that little lip there. And what I might have to do, I don't know if you can see it or not, but see where that little square bit is in there. I might have put yet again another little piece of metal in there. It's alright. I can get it alright. Just give it a little tack in there. And then hopefully I can get another piece. I might even be able to cut that bit off. Well, 37 quid this, and I've cut most of it off. But it does actually fit sort of quite reasonable now. And it looks a bit rough, but close this door. And you see it's not bad. I wanted the door to actually hang over there, probably a bit too much actually. Yeah, so like I said before, what I wanted to do is when the rain comes down, it drips over the sill and not flush to it. I'm not sure about this gap here, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Oh, it's going to carry on looking like it is. I'm going to change it. Right, let's just sort of finish this piece underneath. I haven't bothered sort of videoing it because what I've been doing, I'll just lay this piece over here, put a tack on it. Then I just got a disc cutter, cut it down, then welded it and pushed it in. Oh, it's getting there. I'll just give this a bit of a clean up. It looks terrible at the moment, but I need to re-weld it on the inside and give it a good grind up. I just need to see that little piece there. I don't know if you can see it or not. There. I need to extend it. Extend that up to here. So weld another piece in. Well, I will put another piece in there. Something like that. And I'm going to sort of shape it down there like that. This might be a little bit difficult to explain, but I've actually welded this other little piece of plate on. I just tacked it on. Some dodgy tacks here, but I'll get that when this comes off. Now what I've made, if I can find it, it's on the floor somewhere. There it is. Is this little piece here. That little piece there, I'm going to weld to that. I will put another little edge on there to make it look nice. So it can go something like that. But what I will do, see where that line is? I made another little bit of plate, go over there like that. I wonder if I could actually tack that on. Hang on a sec. Right, this little bit of plate, I'll just put it on there with a little clamp. So what the plan is, I know it looks a bit crude at the moment. If I get this around, that's going to go on there like that. Then what I'll do, once that's on, I should obviously tack all this on first. Then I should tack this to that piece, to that piece. And then, I'll explain myself, I'll draw a line all the way around there like that, maybe a little bit better, and cut all this off. And in there, it will be a bit wider, I'm going to put some little, I should drill some holes, some plug welds. And when I've done that, I can cut all this piece off right up here and tidy it all up, make it look nice. Well, that's the cunning plan anyway. I didn't bother sort of videoing a lot of this stuff because it's all quite, well, so straightforward. It's a bit easier now. This I just done with a paper template. Just cut out a bit of paper. It's not the paper, but then I just shaped it and I bent it around the hub. There's a little hub here. I bent it around it. So the first thing really I need to do is get this tacked on. No, that's just how far we've got so far. I won't touch it. I've tacked that piece there. It's still not yet. I've tacked that piece to there, and I've tacked that to that over bit piece there, the over bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to infill a little bit there, just put like a little turn on there. So I'll do that next, and that should be it. And the other bit I found that I can do, see that gap there? I can do this one-handed or not. That door slamming everywhere. I'm going to cut right way across there like that, and we get a hammer and bend this in, and it'll match up. So it's got a bend in from, well, from right up here actually, so you can see it, look, right up there. Should bend, shouldn't it? We'll see anyway. Oh, I'll cut this little strip of metal out. It's going to go in there like that. I need to make it fit a little bit better on that really, if I can. Then I'm just going to tack it on. And then once it's tacked in there, I'm going to take the whole thing off and we'll have a look together to see what mess I made. Well, let's have a bit of a closer look. Looks a bit of a mess, but it'll be alright. What I should do, stay with it. I should go inside. There's a bit I cut out. Look. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to weld it all up. All the way down there, all the way around there. Weld everything up completely. That's a bit off there, isn't it? And once I've welded all the inside, I'll go on the outside. I should weld all the way down there, all the way down there. Give it a good clean up. Then I've got to shape this piece here. Put a nice bit of curve. Give it a bit of a grind up. I filled a few more little holes in. Still a little bit more to do, but it's getting there on it. Just gonna leave it there for a little while, have a little break. I've got to cut a little piece off there, and then I've got to deal. Once this is all cleaned up, it's quite nice. So I should just clamp it on. I've got to grind this bit down there. I don't know, my hand's in the way. Grind all that down there and drill some holes for some plug welds. Right, this is the bit I've actually finished now. I've ground it up as best I can. There's a few sort of imperfections, but I'll get that with the little bit of filler over that. This is really nice now. I'm quite pleased with the curves. That bit there needs, I need to take a bit more off of that. I'll get there when it's on. What I've done, I've sprayed it with that weld through primer and all down there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to clip this on with some mould grips. I'll start again because I'll just kick the camera over. It's got to go something like that, I think. Oh, but I didn't show you. Have you see it or not? I've drilled all the holes for the plug welds. Well, I've got the sill end very roughly in place at the moment. It's gone with a couple of clips, well grips. This gap here is closing up. So what I'm going to do, I'll close the door without slamming. I'm going to get a disc cutter and I'm going to cut it right the way along there. Let me see that, not right the way along there. Well, the gap's closed up quite a bit. I wedged a piece of wood in there. And the gap there is quite nice, isn't it? Let's get a little bit up here. Well, I think that gap's quite acceptable. I've got to adjust this back up again because it's all moved. I can grind a little bit off there to make it nice and parallel. That's fine. It's just a question now of just playing around with this bottom piece to make it match up. Oh, much better, isn't it? Right, I'm going to see this little black line on the door. I'm just going to cut that down with a Dremel. I was going to use a big disc cutter, but this one seems alright. I found some decent cutters. I don't know if you can see that piece in there. I'm going to clean. I've actually fabricated that, or what did I do? Oh, I had a template somewhere. Gone. I made a cardboard template and made that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grind some of this rough off. So I'm going to grind some of this rust off, just to make it adhere probably when I weld it. So. It needs grinding up quite a bit actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grind it off and worry about the door later. I just need to get this yeah, it needs to go up a little bit further and I'll be happy with that. I need to close that gap up a little bit more, but I need to wedge that in there somehow. I need about 10 pairs of ends. I can do that. Oh, that's a bit of fuff, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm happy with that now. That's good. Right, I made this little piece. I didn't bother sort of recording it because it's only a piece of metal bent up. But all I did is use not a normal stuff, is a paper cardboard or whatever template. And that's going to go in there like that. Something like that. And we'll weld it in, and that's just basically to strengthen this little piece up here, because it's not very strong. So I should put that in there like that, weld it, fully weld it somehow, like that, or like that. Well, I didn't video most of this because it took me about 3 hours to get in this place. Well, progress so far, it's actually on, sort of. It's tack there, tack there. I welded this little piece in there. I've got to clean it all up yet. That's just to strengthen this bottom bit. This piece of wood is holding this back, so I can get a nice gap all the way down there. I've actually trimmed some off the door. I think it's about right now. I wanted this to actually overlap that. I didn't want it flush. I know that all the Austin owners club, they all say, yeah, it's got to be flush, but it's my car and I don't want it like that. I'm grinding this video here now because I don't really want to do any more welding on this. The actual end cap is actually on. It's all nice and smooth around there as best I can get it. Just a little tiny bit of filler. I've got a tack on there, and that gap there is quite nice. I don't suppose it's supposed to have a gap, but it has. The bottom of the door is slightly overhanging the sill there now, or the end of the sill, and that's pretty good. Now I don't want to weld it, so I'm going to put on the outer sill, which is there. And I know it isn't actually the right one for the car, because the other one didn't fit very well. So I'm going to leave this one unwelded, in case I've got to move it around and tweak it. So everything's okay up to there. That door there, I've got to take a slice a little bit off. And the door opens and closes nicely. I can feel it catching somewhere a little tiny bit. No, it's on the catch. Now inside, oh, let's close the door without smashing it to bits. Right, it's all tacked here, and I've deliberately not tacked it there. I'll put the camera on, you might be able to see. The reason is so I can make it easier to marry up the sill. So that's pretty much all. This is I'm actually quite pleased with it now. This side's much better than the other side, and the bad news is I'm going to have to do the other side. But as I said before, keep repeating myself, I've just got mould grips holding it on at the moment, but it's all ready to go. I've actually cut down there so I could bang that in a little bit, which I have done. But again, I'm not going to weld anything up just yet. I'm even going to leave that piece of wood in just to hold it over, because I know I had big aggravation with the sill getting it on. So the next thing really is to cut off this lip here all the way along. That'll be on the next video. A bit of wire there. Look. I need to clean up a bit there, doesn't it? Not very good. Yeah. Yes, and also I've got to drill out the bottom of the sill for all the plug welds which go. I don't know if you can see it or not. They go there. So that's another sort of boring job to do. But I think really it's not going too bad. So this is all zinc plated under there. I've left the bottom bit deliberately, so I put through some of that weld through primer, because I've done the other side and I put some of the zinc plate all the way down there. I had trouble welding it, and also it caught light. So all in all, it's not too bad, considering this is one of the bits I had to cut off. And a bit on the top. And there's another bit somewhere, I'll probably throw it in the bin. So, like I say, that has, without fear of repeating myself, which I do, all this bit here, I've had to refabricate all the way down there, and that little piece there. And I'm actually really pleased with that now, it looks really good. It's got, I know you can't see it, but there's a little return on it there as well. You know, I will play around with this later on. I might even put a curve on there, or I'll do something, don't know yet, but we'll see. But this video's coming to an end now. Yeah, I don't need to waffle anymore. So the next video come out, you see me messing up the sill. Well, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate all your comments and your support. Thanks again. Hopefully you'll see you again shortly. Bye now.